Okay, now I should be live. Well, that's disappointing. I had this going this whole time. I had forgotten to press a button. Well, welcome again, everybody. Technical difficulties started already. I had an awesome intro. For you all. And it looks like I was not actually live. I'm figuring out how this whole YouTube live thing works. And that was a fail. So, with a scheduled stream, got to remember to press that extra button. Well, thanks for the heads up for everybody who was doing this. You'll just have to trust me. I had an awesome countdown. And here I'm just going to have to show the trailer again for the start 1999 Star Wars Lego, because it really sets the mood, and I'm disappointed that did not go out too well. So, give me a second here. The very original Lego Star Wars trailer from 1999.
Forces for the first time, so you can build authentic Lego X-Wings and Y-Wings. Only you can help Luke and the Rebels defeat Darth Vader and his TIE Fighter and save the galaxy.
You did it! You saved us!
Lego Mania! Lego Mania!
The new Lego Star Wars collection, each set sold separately.
So yeah, welcome again. Sorry to keep everybody waiting, but welcome now that you can actually see me and know what's going on. I'm partway into my build, but I'll recap. So apologies for the technical difficulties. As I've been saying to nobody, this is my first time. I'm doing all of the operation myself, as well as trying to build. So I'm just here happily chugging along. I'm like, oh, it says that I'm live on YouTube, but I hadn't actually started the stream yet. So my bad, everybody. But we're building the 7150 TIE Fighter and Y-Wing Lego set. This is one of the very first 5 sets ever released by Lego in the Star Wars genre. And it came out in 1999, so 25 years old today, which has me feeling ancient. But I probably haven't built this in, I want to say 15 years. So it's awesome to have it and be building it up. This is a set of 409 pieces. And for somebody who spent as much time building Lego as me, that's probably something like an hour build, but I'm actually kind of slow. So we'll see how much I can do it. And I'm also distracting myself a lot with talking and my technical difficulties. It came with 3 minifigures, and we already constructed what we could of Darth Vader, although these sets have been rated for Lego Justice League versus Avengers. I do need to track down his cape and his helmet. It's the one-piece old-school helmet. It also has the gray face, unlike the Darth Vaders of today, and you can see that just the chest is painted. All the arms and everything else are blank, which is very common for 1999. And then it also comes with Dutch, with Gold Leader, and R4, which is actually a fairly rare R2-D2 print. So a lot of cool figures. And we're just diving into the build. I'm off to a slow start, getting distracted with lots of things. So let's check in on the comments, and then I'll dive in. Derek, love you too. Esme, love you too. I feel like the love from Esme is required, but, still appreciated. Then we've got the Dylan Productions. Batman Rebuilt and Reassembled are still the greatest superhero brick films. Thank you very much. That's awesome to hear. I love making those. And always thinking about ideas for more Lego Batman movies. So one of these days we'll get back to it. And thank you very much for believing in me. I didn't understand the comment when it came in because I was like, well, we're rolling. But now I know. Now I know. So we'll get back to the build. And yeah, hopefully you'll actually be able to see the rest of this. So we're partway in here, and just getting started on the actual TIE Fighter of Darth Vader's TIE Fighter. This is the TIE Advanced, and even though this was the first TIE Fighter Lego ever built, I don't think they've actually had made a lot of versions of this compared to some of their other sets. So, we'll go over here I'll give you a look at the 1999 style instructions, if I get the right tab here. Again, pitfalls of trying to do this all myself for my first experience, so I've really thrown myself into a trial by fire situation, and it'll be fun to see how it goes for your all entertainment. But yeah, we don't have any, there's no kind of, it doesn't show you like the modern instructions, what pieces to grab, so if you make a mistake, you get left behind and then have to figure it out later. But I do kind of like it. It forces you to pay attention to detail. The young kids have it easy these days. So you see they're rocking and rolling all the way to step 11. And yes, for everybody out there dying to know, I do have the original box for this set, which is awesome. I keep way too many of my Lego boxes, much to Esme's dismay. But it's pretty fantastic. And I have the original instructions over here too, which I'm kind of following along with, but it was going to be too hard to pack everything into the desk, so I wanted to be able to show a peek of them when I had the chance. I also made the mistake of just dumping all these pieces out, which is making my life more difficult. They had actually been separated very nicely into TIE Fighter pieces and Y-Wing pieces, so if I was just a little more patient, I would have stayed a little bit more organized, but I was too excited and dove right in. All right. So yeah, we're all the way just breezing past step 11 here. And I'm already dropping pieces like a madman, so pardon me one second. When I was talking to nobody earlier, I was also talking about how these sets all got rated for the Batman. The Avengers versus Justice League show that Seth and I have been working on for about the past decade. So part of this is that I may run into some missing pieces along the way. I'm wanting to get all of the collection sorted back out because the pieces here include stuff from my collection and Seth's, as well as a bunch of my other siblings. So I actually want to slowly rebuild through all of those and get them all sorted back out. So it'll be a bunch of cool retro Lego, but it might cause some slowdowns along the way when I need to look for parts. If I have any super observant Lego fans out there, you might notice that the grays, both the light gray and the dark gray, are a different shade than what they have now. This was back before 1994 when they did the, well, these were just known as dark gray and light gray. The shades today that are used in all the sets are called bluish gray, or light bluish gray, and dark bluish gray, and they actually changed the tint. I was looking into more about why that was done, and apparently people thought that they looked dirty all the time. So they made the switch to the bluish tint for a more pristine look. And see, this is a nice little fun one where it takes a kind of double take to make sure I have all my things in place. But I'm pretty sure I got everything. If not, we'll find out in a few steps and we'll go back. That's the fun of these old school ones. They keep you on your toes. I doubt that anyone else cares how long this takes me, but for pride, I'd like to keep this to about an hour. Maybe I'll give myself a little extra time for the distractions, the self-imposed distractions. Got all of our, I think that looks correct. Go back and look at some instructions. Yeah, so that looks about right, I think. Got all the blues on there. Got my hinge pieces. All right, we're ready to roll. See, we're just cooking now all the way to step 16. And you guys can actually see me. What a world. See, this is where it would have been really nice on myself to have not just dumped out both of the bags. Probably be a little bit easier to find. There we go. Hiding out over here. Here we go. The super iconic TIE Fighter faceplate. The very first version of it. See, with little studs on there to get the little laser cannons. Beautiful. I love it. And check that out. I got this thing when I was like 10 years old. And it is pristine, man. Pristine. I played with it a lot too. I don't think I played with anything in the amount of my probably Star Wars Lego and my Star Wars figures. Those are the best. And I like remember finding out that they made Star Wars Lego, and I was so stoked. Between Seth and I, we actually have in October of 1999 they released 5 sets, and it was all the ones that I showed in the trailer earlier. So it was this TIE Fighter and Y-wing. There was the X-wing, a land speeder, a snow speeder, and then a speeder bike chase set. And between Seth and I, we have 3 of the 5. And I know Seth has told me in the past that he really wanted to get a land speeder, so we might have to finish out the collection at some point and manage to get all 5 of those. But I think the land speeder is, I think for some reason or another, ridiculously expensive to get new. And I have no idea what a used set is like. This one, when I was researching beforehand, I was saying new and sealed in the box is worth about $225. Opened, it was somewhere between like $75 and $85. Closer to $85 if you have the box like me. So it's crazy how much, I mean, a used version of this toy is somehow worth more than it was retail. It's crazy. See that you actually have the printed Imperial pieces? Come on, focus for me. Anyway. What about you? You want to show it clear? So the printed Imperial pieces, I always think the printed pieces are a little cooler than the decals when you can. You always have the chance to mess up a decal. I hope I'm saying that right. But yeah, there's no decal on that. That's printed. And again, back in the day, from what I remember, this was pretty rare too. It was mostly printed. Or mostly a decal, I mean. All right, it looks like we finished the cockpit. So there we got it opening and closing. We have the inside with some little controls for Darth Vader. We've got the laser cannons on the front. And we've got a pretty good shape to it, considering the building styles of the day. Fantastic. So now we're going to get it into the actual engine and wingspan here that we showed. I don't know. I feel like we're moving now, but we'll see. Let's see. So yes, the gray, see, it definitely has the retro look with the yellow. You're absolutely right. Sup, Veronica? Thanks for joining in. Oh, Derek, you had this one as a kid? That's, yeah, fantastic set. And then Esme asked me the big question of what is my favorite Star Wars set. And that really is a big question. I would have to break it out, probably. I mean, this one is probably my favorite childhood set. I mean, the Y-Wing is one of my favorite ships of all time. One of my first Lego or Star Wars toys ever was a Y-Wing microfighter, like the Micro Machines. So I've always had an affinity for the Y-Wing. So I think probably this one, just for nostalgia. Some of the new ones are awesome though, and I built just not the Ultimate Collector series, but the smaller Razor Crest with my daughter, and I think it's just a fantastic set. So that'd probably rank up there. It's an awesome ship, and then the way that they nail the shapes now and the details of the set is pretty incredible. And thank you everybody for being here, hanging out. watching me stumble through all this, waiting around 15 minutes for me to actually get the stream started or whatever it was. It's awesome. I'm excited to be doing more and more, and it genuinely means a lot to have you here, so thank you. I don't know what happened to my graphics, but here they're back. Here, we'll clear some of these out of the way. See, shouldn't have dumped out all the parts. Rookie mistake. But I'm like my 7-year-old and just got way too excited and just dumped everything out. Whew. These are dusty boys. I'm gonna have to clean that off. Hey Omni, how you doing? Thanks for joining in. Omni Radio. So I'm gonna definitely go give this thing a good dust when we're done. I have found that. Oh, wait a second. I must skip something there. Yes, I sure did. I tried to skip a whole step. Or I'll jump back to the instructions. You don't even see my stream health. We're on page 9. And see, all the grays start to blend together, and I was about to start skipping steps. These old school ones that keep you on your toes, man. Thank you. Thank you for the compliment on my hands. They're specially moisturized for this. Actually, they're just sweaty. It's really hot in this room. And I turned off the fan so you would all have pristine audio. And it's like 80, 81 degrees and humid in San Diego, which is just sweltering for us here. And so this is a warm build for me. But you know what? As the great Peter Jackson once said, pain is temporary, film is forever. So I think that goes for overheating as well. Uh-oh. Messed up. Fortunately, it's an easy fix. I just had this slid over one side too far. I was afraid for a second. I was like, oh no, I'm going to have to take it all apart. No, I still didn't do it right. I guess these are... Yeah, these are supposed to be flush underneath. See? And then it throws me a little bit that there's just nothing under here, but I suppose that's correct. Yeah, it looks correct based on the instructions. It's crazy to me too, like, I don't know, I just love to geek out about Lego, but I mean, look at this. Everything fits together perfectly. This is a 25-year-old set, nothing, like, and it's compatible with all of the modern day. I could snap any of these pieces onto any one of my sets that I bought a month ago. It's crazy. It's a sophisticated building system, as Lord Business says. A sophisticated interlocking brick system, I believe is the exact quote. But it's true. It really is. So we got to build 2 of these things. See? George gets it. You're welcome. All right. But yeah, I don't know how much the camera picks it up, but I do need to do a little dusting on this guy. It's the one thing about it. I've found that soft bristled paintbrushes work really well. So if you use like a kid's Crayola paintbrush and just get one of the nice soft like watercolor ones, big bushy one, it works fantastic for Lego. We'll see how it does against a 20-year-old dust. So we've got these. Oh, and then these guys. See, and I can maybe make a whole like ASMR sub channel too. Just I don't know if there's a better sound in the world than like sorting bricks and hearing them click together. So see if we can get that nice click. Right up to the mic. There you go. Oh, that was satisfying. Oh, shoot. I did this the wrong way. Okay, gotta rotate. It's supposed to be this. All right, now we're looking right. And then this guy. Did I have the wrong size piece on here, huh? 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah. See? Now is this one? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. All right. So we've got that. Another one of these beautiful printed imperial symbols. All right, and I think that part is ready to go. We'll set that aside. This is fantastic. So one of my times that I knew I was getting old was when, you know, because I used to always just sit on the floor and build Lego for hours, and when I tried to do that with my daughter, I ended up with my legs all falling asleep and cramps and stuff. I'm like, oh man. Oh, wait a second. See? I have all these pieces assembled. Almost threw myself off there. But we got it. We got it. All right, we're cooking. So we're on to page 15, starting on the bottom of the wing. We're almost, I think technically it's a solar panel, not a wing, so we're going to be moving on to the solar panel soon. Wait, this is, yeah. Set that aside for now. I haven't run into any missing pieces yet besides Darth Vader. There we go. We've got one of the solar panels all assembled. It's really, it is really funny to me to compare the detail on these sets compared to the new sets. I mean, the new TIE Fighter has all of the, you know, all of the lines and stuff like that all built into it, and this one, just some simple stuff to suggest the different elements of the solar panel, which I think is really cool. Lego has really changed styles over the years, but it's all awesome in its own respect. I have a lot of respect for the quality of the builds now, but I think that there's something nostalgic about these old school, more blocky sets with all the studs exposed that isn't going to stop being awesome. So we got to build another one of those wings, which I missed, so we'll go back and do that again. Could have been building them both at once, but it's okay. Another thing about these this original run of Star Wars sets is that when I was looking into some stuff, I noticed that they several of them were re-released, this one included. I keep messing that part up, putting this on the wrong way. So this one was actually released twice, once in 2002, I believe, and then again in 2004. And 2004, I guess, actually had some different color variations, so it used the new grays. The piece count is a little bit different on all the sets, but I couldn't find, when I was like looking into it, I really couldn't find what differences were beyond the gray pieces being switched out at some point. We are very nearly done with the TIE Fighter portion. Oops. There we go. All right. Here, I'll do these two at once. See, when you have repetitive steps, I just find it a lot simpler to just do both at the same time. Okay, so I got a question about what set this is from. Teddy wants to know. So this or what movie this is from, sorry. So this is from Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. This is from the scene when Darth Vader is chasing down the rebels in the trenches of the Death Star when they're making the trench run. And he chases down, well, my wife is a better Star Wars expert than me, so I might be misquoting here. She'll probably kill me if I do, but I'm pretty sure Darth Vader chases down and kills Gold Leader. He definitely messes up a lot of them. But I know Gold Leader does not survive, so this guy, who's Dutch Vander, or John Vander, his codename is Dutch, and he does not survive the Battle of Yavin. So yeah, that's what this set is from. All right, just putting the last touches on our solar panels here. One more blue piece hiding that I missed earlier. See, this is what I'm talking about. Missed that back in step 7 here. And you just have to figure that stuff out. So now we're going to go, we're going to assemble the actual wings here. One thing that always bothered me as a kid is that I didn't know if the official design, I was supposed to click them in. See, they don't actually click all the way if you do it twice. And so I was like, do I just click them once, or are they supposed to go twice in as far as they can? Because I always felt like the curvature of being all the way in looked more like Darth Vader's TIE Fighter from the movie. But I felt weird about posing the thing in between the two catch points on the gears in here. So there, check that out. Darth Vader's TIE Advanced. One of the most awesome ships in the Star Wars universe. The very first version ever created in 1999. Completely reconstructed. Every piece for it here. I am kind of proud of my younger self for keeping these in such pristine condition, while they also were the ones that I was playing with all the time. But that's actually, in all honesty, that's one of the things I love about LEGO, is that they really do stand up quite well. And then we've got Darth Vader. Like I said, I don't want to go hunting for his helmet right now and cape and drag things out, but hopefully I can grab it before the end of the stream and we can see the fully assembled version of him. And now we're going to move on to what I think is one of the most fantastic. Well, first, I guess we should take a look at the figures. We just looked at Dutch. Here's R4. Or R5. My bad. Wow, I'm really messing up. Esme's going to have choice words with me later. There. I can do it. There we go. There's a good view. I always thought this thing was awesome. Even more awesome now that I know it's kind of rare. And then let's get into this bad boy. One of the coolest ships ever created. There's been a few versions of the Y-Wing throughout the years. There's a Resistance Y-Wing from the newer movies. There's kind of there's one that just came out with actually a Battle of Yavin set that has the base on Yavin 4, which is the base from the last scene of A New Hope, for anyone who doesn't know. But that one's a little small for my preference. I like the ones that are more to scale with what the size of the ships were supposed to be in the movies. I think this one's actually pretty close. The one that I want to get my hands on one of these days, since the Y-Wing is one of my favorite ships, is actually the Y-Wing that came out with, what was it? Rogue One. Rogue One had a really cool Y-Wing. It was beautifully designed. Might have to see if I can show a picture of it in a little bit. But it's a great design for the ship. The shape is nailed. And when I was looking up scales, it's like almost exactly the scale of what it was supposed to be. So with all those factors, it makes me really want to get it. Oh, there's me missing pieces again. Okay, either I'm blind or I'm actually missing something for the first time this whole time. Because I've got these two, I've got the 4 here. Let's see, we've got the 1, 2, 3, 4, but in the previous step, I've got 2 more that are supposed to be going on the back. And it's probably just hanging out in here because I don't think this set got rated because I haven't seen anything missing. But it's tripping me out, man. Well, we might need to take a trip to the Lego drawer. Oh wait, here's one. Here's one. Just kidding, just kidding. So it must be around here. Right piece, wrong color. No, wrong piece. Just kidding. Seeing I was rolling so well. So we're coming up now on the hour mark of when I actually started building. So you can see I am, as I said earlier, I am a little slow today. Richard says, love Lego graphics for your screen. Thanks, man. I put a couple weeks into getting these built and prepped and stuff and all powered through everything, so I'm pretty stoked. All right. Now, where is this other piece? Okay. Gotta check the floor because I have dropped plenty, so time for the floor check. Not the piece I need, but there is one sitting down here. Is that one of those points in the set too that I don't think I can just move on and just snap it on if I find it? Okay. Now it's when I start sorting. I'm gonna put round boys over here. Get my barrel pieces here. Get my dark grays together. Hey, Seth entered the chat here. Remember when? Were you in on this one? I assumed this was probably for. Oh, here it is, finally. Whew. I was trying to remember exactly. Based on when they came out, I was assuming this was a Christmas one. Do you remember? And then, yes, it is super slow. I thought an hour for 400 pieces would be about right. But with all my distractions, I am lagging here. All right, now we finally have the correct pieces though, so we can get back to it. Oh wait, I might have messed something else up. This is... See, I'm telling you, these old school ones, they keep you on your toes. I think I got the wrong size. It's supposed to be 6 wide, so I got that. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, that's right. Oh, so I just... supposed to be here. And then have some of these little pieces in between. See, I gotta stop talking. I'm distracting myself. All right. One thing that this is a little personal thing of mine that I don't think is matched from these old school sets is, man, these little bays for the R2 units to go in, they sit down there all nicely and flush, and on the new sets, they tend to stick out kind of far, at least on the newer X-Wing that I've built. And I love the new X-Wing. The design's really cool, but the R2 unit sticking out so far is like a weakness. Oh, man. See, I'm just skipping stuff left and right. Oh, see, Seth says it was for Christmas. I figured. That's what I was guessing from memory. There was like a bunch of episode 1 sets that came, because these came out in November of 1999, and then they released a whole bunch of episode 1 sets in or no, these came out, I don't know what I said, but I meant October. These came out in October, and then they released a whole bunch of the Phantom Menace, as well as I think a second release of classic Star Wars sets that included like some different ones, like the B-Wing, I think maybe the Slave One. And those were all released in November of that same year, like right before Christmas. So I feel like that Christmas, I remember, I think we got Seth the Naboo fighter, and I think my grandparents would give me just give me money for Christmas every year, which I thought was fantastic. And so and I keep messing up. But yeah, I think I bought the Gungan sub with whatever money I had saved up. It's a good year for Lego. Oh wow, yeah, see? There's nothing going on in here. So this is my test of resilience with the brick separators. Oh yeah, those are really on there. Right in the middle too. There's one. Ah! Woo! Got him. No cheating. I did destroy my thumbnail a little bit, but it's okay. Ooh, Seth says he has old school Lego magazines from that era. That would be fun. I didn't know we still had any of those. All right. Yeesh. Okay, we're back on track. Almost there. Almost there. Or, as they would say in the scene, almost there. Here we go, rolling now. It's getting toasty. Need some more water. So now we've got this one. Now it's in the right place. I don't think it makes a difference which one of these goes first, but I am a purist when it comes to building them exactly as the instructions, at least the first time. If you want to modify from there, that's fine. Something tells me this piece is going to go right back on, so as much as it bothers me, I'm gonna leave it on and see if we actually have to take it off first. Again, goal is to do this build without using any of the newfangled brick separators, so we can really get the 1999 break your fingernails off experience. This one is one of my very favorite pieces from the old school sets. It's the nav computer that's straight out of episode 4. You can see the trench there, and it's a printed piece. I don't know if those are particularly rare, but I just freaking love that piece. All right. Is that a dark gray? That looks like a dark gray. Confusing myself for a second. You know, and people talk about yellowing with a lot of the white sets. This looks, we'll see once we build some on the top of it, but this actually looks like in pretty good condition, especially for how much I know I had it built. I would have thought that it would have been more yellowed, honestly. And then we've got the 2 yolks. I'll have to make sure those are on the right angle to fit in his hands later. That was another thing I was always pretty anal about. Was that just one piece? All these steps are so complicated, and was that really just one piece? Okay. I feel like I'm going to be missing something later on, but we'll find out. See, this is about the point where every time building this as a kid, I'd start to get super excited. You can start to swoosh it, you know, you got the shape. You see it coming together. You know it's going to be an epic dogfight when this thing's shaping up. Seth, what do you wish I put in modern sets? The stream is a tiny lag behind where I am, so I'm not sure what you're referring to. But I'm interested. Oh yeah, the actual joysticks. These are pretty cool. These are very much classic Lego. And it's true they don't do as many of them in the ships these days. I think some of the ones I have still have it, but it's definitely not included in everyone. Check it out. Clips. 25-year-old clips. Still watch me like break one while I'm trying to assemble it. Oh, here's where that... See, if I show you the instructions here, so you can see this is where that little gray piece that goes on top of the yellow one, and since I don't want to break my fingernails trying to take this apart, I'm just going to swap this over here. So I was always big on completely disassembling my sets because I loved rebuilding them from scratch. I still do. I mean, that's very much still the way I go. But you know, back in the day before brick separators, when you couldn't get a piece off, All right, looking pretty good there. Guess I think I'm too under the brick separators. I mean, I'm more making a point of not using them today. I think they're one of the things that have, you know, the showing you every piece you need to You know, you need to use in the step and the brick separators. Are we going to have our children going to be as tough Lego builders as we were? You know, I don't know. Time remains to tell. But I feel like it built some strength and character. The struggle, you know? Is that right? Oh no, I missed some pieces here. What? Oh, I put these at the wrong spot. And they actually go up here? See, missing more pieces. There's a couple that go to fill in the cockpit back here as well. And it's just these dark ones, they're so easy to miss. But at least I haven't had to massively take anything apart yet. So that's good. I'm doing okay. All right, looking good. And I do think it's funny. This is one of the things that I like, kind of cracks me up, is like the construction standards then and now are a little bit different. You know, this gets bumped, the front comes off. This would definitely have some kind of reinforcement in it if it were built today, or just be constructed in a different way completely. And it was funny because I was talking to somebody who complained that the Star Wars ships, the modern Star Wars ships, just, you know, fall apart. I kind of laughed. I was like, what are you talking about? Because, like, compared to the old school ones, the ones now, I mean, there might be some things that don't feel, you know, this is a really solid construction in terms of the main body. Maybe it doesn't feel quite that solid because it's used rods and pins and stuff to get that more, like, accurate shape to it. But in terms of sturdiness, like, it's nothing like these. These, you'll see when I get the top cannon, the ion cannon on the top, like that thing, I would knock off all the time playing with it. But to be honest, I love that stuff too, because I don't know how many times I would play, like, blowing it up or stuff like that. So sometimes the destructibility is a good thing. Well, I don't know if my mic picked that up, but apparently I'm getting very hungry. What am I looking for? Ogre Dome says, gosh, those hands are made of majestic. Or quite majestic, sorry. And yeah, I mean, I work in software, so I do have ridiculously smooth hands. Thank you. Thank you for recognizing. And then what is this Ogre Dome? You said maybe just the Millennium Falcon? I think I missed what that was in reference to. And Seth says bottom being all plates is old school too. Yeah, most of the ones today are built on more of the Technic system where it's like the pins and stuff that'll be connected together. And it really does, it gives for a much more versatile shape. If I was designing one, I'm sure that's what I would attempt to do. But again, like being constructed on a set of plates, there's just something, I don't know, I think for most of us who've collected Lego in that era, there's something really nostalgic about just being able to, this kind of blocky construction. The engines were the favorite to blow apart on this one, yeah, for sure. The engines just, well, I'll show you when we're done. The engines just snap off really easily, and it makes it pretty fantastic. Oh yeah, Ogredome says in terms of the Millennium Falcon falling apart, because yeah, it's always breaking down. That's fair. That's fair. I think the Millennium Falcon set I have is probably one of the more ones that I have that falls apart a little bit easier too. There was the way the cannons were, because it was from like 2011, and specifically the way the cannons are constructed on that one. It is breaking down plenty on its own, so that's accurate. Alright. We're on the home stretch now. Only a few more minutes before we swoosh this thing. Where's my hinge piece? Hinge piece, hinge piece. Ah. Really? Of all pieces, the hinge piece is missing? Alright, 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 alright. See, it has the black top. I've got to have those ready to go in my Lego drawer over here. Oops, that was wrong. I meant to bring up this one. So here I've got, the wire's not very far, but I've got my bins over here. And I'm positive these hinge pieces are, I've got a ton of extras in here. Like I said, I'm getting a, if not the original, but I just have to find the drawer they're in because I don't have them labeled as thoroughly as would probably be ideal. So, hang out 1 second while I do that. Unless I'm missing it, but I don't think it's there. So yeah, this is the part of getting everything sorted back out that's going to be fun. It's really random though that this wasn't missing anything except the hinge piece set. Seems a little bit unlikely to me. Well, here we go. This piece is... It's the correct piece, but it is the wrong color and from the wrong era, because you can see here, this is where if I compare the grays like I was talking about earlier, I don't know how well that comes out on camera, but they actually don't match. I'm going to throw it on here in the interest of finishing the build. However, my OCD will make me go back out and swap that out for a piece that's in the... that actually would have originally gone with this. So... that will still happen. But I know everybody's dying to see this puppy finished, so... So the loop of goop says nice sunburn. Thank you. I think I'm mostly just tan. I'm not too... I just... the color correction of my camera. I'm actually not burned for once. Any off-color parts? Well, I've mentioned a couple times, the actual colors for the grays are different in this one, but there's, like, I'm actually a little surprised there isn't a lot of sun damage. The grays and the whites are all pretty natural. You can see even if I pop these plates over top, covering them up, it's not like you see any yellowing. Usually you can kind of see the yellowing of which parts are exposed to the sun or not. So, wherever we stored these, they've actually held up pretty well. Ooh, what is my white whale of discontinued Lego set? That's a really big question. The first one that pops to mind is it was one of the slave ones. It wasn't the Ultimate Collector Series one is really cool, but there was one that was to scale and was a playable design that was pretty awesome. And I've looked a little bit into what it would take to reconstruct that. Ooh, I actually would probably beat that. The very top white whale of discontinued Lego sets would be the Death Star. They had the play set that was the Death Star and had all the different rooms. And it came out when I was really poor. And so it couldn't happen because it was like a $250 set, I think. It's the one that's in the Spider-Man movie. That's probably my biggest single one. All right. So we've got our hinge piece in place. And Seth, I do feel like with Lego sorting through the pieces and this whole thing, I do need to get some kind of ASMR things going, especially since I work so much late at night and I live in a small house with my family, so I gotta like keep it down. And so then definitely just nothing but the sound of Lego bricks And then when I'm doing stop motion, the camera clicking every once in a while, you know. I don't really know if that's a thing. I don't actually know much about ASMR, but I'm just going to go with it. See, another thing I'm OCD about, I got to make sure, well, here, I'll show you the instructions. So the way the ridges are here, how the ridges are, oh, you can't see my mouse, dang it. But like if you look somewhere like this, you can see the ridges are like going horizontal because these pieces are, all you Lego builders know, but these pieces have like horizontal ridges on the one side and then the vertical ridges on the other. So like that's another thing when I go through and build, I have to make sure it's all lined up as shown in the instructions. It's a bit of a compulsion, don't judge me. Man, there's a bunch of these angle pieces on it. If I ever need a whole bunch of old school gray angle pieces, I know the set to dig out. All right. See, I'm messing stuff up again. I was raving about the R2D2 bays in this, and I forgot that. Oh no, he's back here. What am I saying? What am I saying? Almost there. Almost there. You're right, Seth. Sorry for misspeaking. It's what? R4. I keep saying it wrong. My bad. See, and again, I love not how it would be constructed today, but I just love the suggestion of the shape on here. You've got you've got these pieces underneath, then you've got the yellow sticking out here, and it's like this very old school, like 8 or 16-bit way almost of showing the textures. And it was really magical in its own respect. Wow, I don't even see what the difference is. Oh, there we go. It's these guys. So now you have a storage compartment. You can put stuff in. And then looks like we cover up these engine bays too. Again, what is the difference? Okay. 2 pieces. Oh, you can't see my instructions now. But it's like you get to the end of these and it's like hunt for the difference. Oh, and there's where I talk about sturdiness. I just knocked that nose cone off. Just by moving it. I was really nervous about like breaking these red clips after I made the comment earlier about like, oh yeah, 25 years later they're still going. I was like, watch me like these be brittle and me break them. Here we go. Another thing that's already assembled. Again, nice Rebel Alliance printed piece. If you haven't learned yet, I love the printed pieces. And this actually just slides in here, which is cool because it can open up over top. And you can also have it taken out. That was my favorite place to store all my secret plans, you know? And whatever stories I came up with. Ooh, time to get the cockpit in place. And these original, it was the same cockpit for the X-Wing and Y-Wing, and I was reading that I guess these are based off of, it was a cover for a 9-volt battery on a train set is actually what these were molded for, and then they transitioned them into the cockpit pieces for the X-Wing and Y-Wing, which I never knew. I always thought that they originated as the X-Wing and Y-Wing pieces. Now we're going to get that ion cannon mounted on top here in a second. Ooh, first we're going to finish off the landing gear. This is another thing, these like little table pieces on the bottom as the landing gear was very much standard. And actually is pretty cool because you can just take them off when you want it to fly without landing gear. So I was always perfectly happy with it as a kid. But they do come off rather easily. And definitely, again, construction standards have changed with Lego over the years. I'm gonna mount this cannon on here. Check that out. We get, what does that say? the R5D4. We'll say he's right. My wife knows. She's judging me somewhere. All right. So we got... Oh, and then Seth asks, what about the TIE cockpit? I don't know. I'm actually going to have to look that up. I'm pretty sure this was built for this because it's definitely the TIE fighter pattern. But I guess they probably custom printed the pattern for this one too, so I don't know for sure. These were the first sets I ever remember seeing the TIE cockpit on, but I really don't know 100%. All right, now it's engine time. So let's do 2 of these at once. So we go, ooh. Some of these have pins in them though, so let's go skip ahead and see which ones are supposed to have the pins, because, okay, the bottom one on here. Because again, oh, they've come out. Somebody was just lazy when they disassembled this. Probably me. Back in the day. Okay, now we've got the light gray. And so see, the fact that these engines have the pins in them to help them be sturdy, that's like... that would be every part of this ship if it was built today. Yeah, Seth, I got you were talking about that particular mold. Yeah, the engines are the best part of the set. No joke. Vid says, are those Y-Wing engines or pod racing engines? These are the original. I mean, this is the set. I can show you the instructions here. So yeah, this is the original. All the original instructions. This is exactly how it was built. In terms of scale, they probably are about the right size for a scale pod racing engine. Which is why I'm such a big sucker for scale on these Star Wars sets. It's when you can get them like that perfect minifigure scale. I just think it's awesome. These pieces were around on a lot of my favorite sets too. I have this like space shuttle set, which I actually used in the Batman Rebuilt movie. That's on here, and so built a ton with these things as a kid. Like actually, a lot of these pieces were crossover between like the space shuttle stuff of the time and the Star Wars stuff. Yeah, those engines are looking good, but I'm really afraid that I have these 2 pieces. It means that I missed something. That's gonna bug me. We'll have to see. Alright, so now we're going to get our... Alright, and then we'll get these actual engines assembled. That's pretty awesome. Does a good job matching the shape of the Y-wing engines, and it's simple in design. Oh man, these are way too big to be spare parts. Now I'm gonna have to go back and figure out what I did wrong. Here we go. Oh, I already found most of it. There we go. Finish off that shape on the cockpit. Get this one in place. Oh no! Push down too hard. We got it. We'll fix it. There we go. So it says, you don't put the seam on top, but here's the thing, bro. Let's check this out. With, if I bring up the instructions here, the seam is on top, so I gotta build it that way. It's just, I don't really have a choice. You might not like it. I'm not nuts about it. I think we always built it hiding the seam too, but I mean, when I'm doing the build, I got to do the build. Check that out. Oh, I lost my background. Here we go. So there is our completed Y-wing. Beautiful. Check that out. You can almost hear those engines roaring. Fantastic. Well, this was awesome. I'm also pretty impressed with myself as a Lego collector that we're out of this whole set. We're missing one hinge piece. Obviously, we have the Darth Vader mask and cape that I need to track down. I'm just going to take a quick peek to see if I can see him here, because I would love to show that completed. But if not, I'll post a picture later. I think I got him out to show my daughter at some point, and I must have left him with some of the other Star Wars stuff that I have. Yeah, so we'll follow up. I won't drag out belabor the time now, but we'll have to follow up with a picture so you can see the completed Darth Vader and set. But here we go. We've got the 1999 Y-wing. Seth is unsubscribing over the engines. Here we go. Darth Wookiee says, this is a pretty nice set. Yeah, I love this set. This is one of my very, very favorite Star Wars sets of all time. Probably nostalgia-wise, this is just my favorite because freaking Y-Wing, one of the coolest ships of all time. I got this when I was 10 years old. Can't believe it's 25 years old now. We'll go ahead and throw Gold Leader in there. Oh, yeah, sticks fit in his hand. Man, I still know those angles. Oh, this one's a little off. My bad. There we go. Get him in there. Seth, if you haven't unsubscribed yet, you see I got the engines rotated for you, so there you go. There you go. The first aid kit and life preserver, we're talking about the... Vid says, I think we're talking about this here. Absolutely. Again, I always stashed the Rebel secret plans in there because this was always... in my games, this was always one of the best Rebel Alliance spies or something like that. But yeah, beautiful design. The Darth Vader's TIE Fighter is actually quite nice as well. Really good shape from the top. There's no real engines on it, but again, just the overall shape and the fact that these were some of the first things to come out. There was always, lots of chasing down, pew, 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 and then this is what we were talking about, just blow that wing off, have this thing go spinning, lasers shooting out. This was a blast as a kid, and I would love to, I'll have to include it in one of my animations someday. But yeah, so I'll be posting proof of the completed Darth Vader later on. I really appreciate everybody hanging out. Let's see, what did I clock in at? Hour and 42. I obviously got a little bit distracted from talking and trying to do Q graphics and stuff while I was building here, but I am a little bit ashamed of that time. I'll have to see if I can get it for 400 pieces. Have to see if I can get a faster build time. Here's a nice look. You can see it from the nose. Oh, look at that beautiful face. Look at that big boy. Dang. Such a nice ship. But, yes. But thank you for hanging out on this inaugural live stream. I hope to be able to do this more often and with a lot of different styles of content. So, obviously, I want to keep doing some of these live builds just because I love building Lego. But want to do more editing streams to show the Justice League versus Avengers stuff that I'm working on, actual animation streams to do more and more stop motion tutorials and all that good stuff. So thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope you all be back next time, and it's been fun. All right, peace out.